Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. In this session, we are going to get the information about 8th Standard English Medium. In that, Economics, Chapter number 2, the continued part of Meaning and Types of Economy. In the previous session, we get the information about meaning of economy, the concept of characteristics of an economy. Let's come to in this chapter we are going to get the information about the types of economies. So there are three types of economic system. Economic systems are classified into capitalism, socialism and mixed economies based on the ownership of means of production and extent of government intervention and regulation of economic activities. Let us learn and understand the meaning, features, merits, demerits of capitalism, socialism and mixed economies systems. So let's come to the one by one. We are going to get the information about capitalism, socialism and mixed economy both together. So here it is a concept of circle flow model of mixed economy. So number one, the concept of capitalist economic system. In capitalist system, the means of production are owned by individuals and are free to use them in any way that benefits them. So here in the capitalist system, the means of production are owned by the individuals and are free to use them in any way that benefits them. Hence, it is also called a free enterprise economy. Capitalism or capitalist system is also called as the free enterprise economy. Here, the government intervention in the economic activities is minimal. There is no interference. There is no rules and regulations governed by the government. Involvement is very less under the capitalist economy. So let's come to here are some of the very important features of capitalist economy. So number one, the first feature of capitalist economy, private property. An individual is free to own, acquire and bequeath property according to his or her wish, since the property is used for one's own benefit. The incentive to acquire and accumulate wealth is very strong under the capitalist economy. And the freedom of enterprise. Second point, second feature of an capitalist economy. In capitalist economy, the individuals are free to choose any occupation. Business firms are free to acquire resources and use them in the production of any goods and service, and free to sell their products in the market of their choice for earning the highest possible profit. So thus there is no involvement, there is no interference of the government which belongs to the property rights, freedom of enterprise. And the third one point, consumer sovereignty. It is said that the consumer is a king in capitalist economy. They are free to spend their income on goods and services which give them the maximum satisfaction. So in the capitalist system, production is guided by consumers' choice. How consumers are expecting taste their choices, on the basis of that the products will be providing, goods and services will be produced under the capitalist economy. And the next one, fourth one, profit motive. Since acquisition and accumulation of wealth is not restricted. In capitalist system, individuals are guided by their self-interest, especially the producers known as the capitalist class are motivated to maximum their profit by minimizing the cost and maximizing revenue. That is the one of the very important feature of capitalist economy. And the fifth one, competition, markets and prices. Since everybody is free to pursue occupation of their choice for earning profits, there is an intense competition in capitalist system. The market forces of demand and supply freely operate to determine the price. So that is the very important competition, markets and prices. There is no involvement, there is no regulations of the government. So that is the very important feature of the capitalist economy. And the next, sixth point, absence of government interference. Government interference in the operation of market, determination of prices and decision by economic agents is either absent or kept to minimum in a capitalist system. However, pure capitalism is not seen in the world. In today's world, as the government has assumed an active role in economic development, promoting welfare of the people and regulating economic activities of business firms. Even though some of the European countries like USA and many European countries are adopted this capitalist economy, or basically USA and many other European countries, they are following capitalist in their by nature. That is the important features as well as the countries which are having capitalist economy. Let's move on to socialist economy. So socialist economy, when productive resources are owned and controlled by the government. So exactly opposite to the capitalist economy. So when the productive resources are owned and controlled by the government to promote the overall interest of the society, it is called a socialist system. In this system, a central planning agency plans and regulates various economic activities in the interest of all. So that is the major concept we are going to be identify in the socialist economy. So let's come to here are some of the very important features of the socialist economy. So among that, the first one is called as the collective ownership. Collective ownership of means of production and wealth. In socialist economy, the government owns the means of production on behalf of the people. All wealth is collectively owned. That is the very important, the collective ownership of means of production and wealth. The entire part of government owns the means of production of all the behalf of the people. It is involvement we are going to be identify completely under the control of everything. It is government. And the second one, social welfare objective. That is the very important feature of the socialist economy. The government acts on behalf of all people to maximize their welfare. The government decides about the type and levels of output and the distribution of the same, keeping in view the broader social welfare of the people. So overall, obviously the government, they have the concept of social welfare objective of the people. So that is the very important feature of the socialist economy. And the next feature of the socialist economy, that is central planning. Identification of national priorities and allocation of resources to meet them is done through economic planning. So that planning commission, government is going to be make a economic planning for giving the priority as well as allocation of the resources. There will be a separate organization name called as economic planning. For this purpose, a central planning authority is created which keeps the national priorities and availability of the resources in mind and allocates resources. All economic decisions regarding production, consumption and investment. So these are all made by the government keeping in mind the present and future needs. So that is the one of the very important as a role will be taken by the government under the socialist economy. Market and prices have a little role to play in socialist economies. And the next fourth one, reduction in inequalities. Non-existence of private property and accumulation reduces economic inequality in a socialist economy. That is one of the very important feature of socialist economy. And the next last one, a no class conflict. All are co-workers in socialist society. There is no class conflicts or existence of the discrimination. So that all are co-workers in socialist economy and there is only the working class. There will be no rich, there will be no poor, there will be no boss and a worker, owner, superior, inferior. So such kind of the class conflicts will not to be exist in socialist economy. Hence there is no class conflict. Socialism, which was a prominent idealism after the Second World War and very importantly embraced by the countries like Russia, China and many Eastern European countries. But the wave of liberalization since the 1990s has made almost all these countries to allow private sector to participate extensively in economic activities. So thus almost all the socialist countries are also given the priority for the existence of private organization, private sectors in these socialist economy. So let's come to the third one. It is called as a mixed economy. So under the mixed economy, a mixed economy combines the good features of both capitalism as well as socialism. It has a combination of elements of both free enterprise or capitalist economy as well as a government controlled socialist economy will exist in mixed economy. It is defined as an economic system where the public as well as private sectors coexist. That is the very important concept of the mixed economy. Let's come to the what are the very important features of mixed economy. So number one, coexistence of public as well as private sectors. The private enterprise that owns production units and works with profit motivation exists along with production units owned by government which work with welfare objective. The economic activities are generally democratic. The government adopts the planning mechanism to direct the utilization of resources of the economy for overall development. It also regulates the activities of private sector through various policies such as licensing policy, taxation policy, price policy, monetary policy and fiscal policy. So these are the very important activities which are regulates to the private company which are under the control of mixed, both existence of private as well as government sectors. That is the first feature of mixed economy. And the second one, individual freedom. Individuals are free to choose occupation and consumption as per their choice, but producers are not given the freedom to exploit consumers and laborers. Government exercise regulations and controls keeping in mind the welfare of the people, but within these rules and regulations and restrictions of the government, the private sector enjoys the complete freedom. Especially it is one of the very important feature of mixed economy. And the next one, economic planning. Planning mechanism is used by the government to prepare development plans and decide the roles to be played by the private and public sectors in the development of an economy. Nothing but mixed economy. Whereas public sector is under the direct control of government and the work as for production targets and plans formulated. The private sector is supported through incentives, support and subsidies to work as per national priorities. That is the very important economic planning, the best feature we are going to be identify under the mixed economy. And the next, price mechanism. So whereas the government policies influence the prices significantly, in mixed economy there are administrated prices for public sector units. For example, railways in India and government provides the price subsidies to help the weaker sections. Indian economy is a classic example of mixed economy. The areas for functioning of public as well as private sectors are well defined, and economic planning is a key activity for achieving development. So these are the best features of mixed economy, as well as India is a best example for mixed economy. So that's it about today's session. I hope you have understood till now what we are discussed. In case of if you having any doubts related to till now what we are discussed, you can comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts. And I will come back with the next video. Until keep watching my channel. Thank you. See you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.